Hey, perfect spirit. I'm Sam Shelley, and they call me the Miracle Man. Now, let's create that miracle, that transformation right here, right now. There's no time to waste. So, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I talk about getting rid of that inner dialogue, that head trash that creates stress, worry, anxiety, fears. We need to throw that stuff out and remember who we are, that we are perfect spirit. Our soul or consciousness, universe, source, whatever you wish to call it, we are beyond this story, this mental story. So today I want to talk about the mountains and valleys of life. Most of the days are pretty much like valleys. Nothing really is really happening. Life is just going, steady and smooth most of the time. But for some, it could be a lot of mountains, lots of challenges in life. And we just keep climbing these mountains, and we climb one mountain and we see more mountains to climb. And that's okay too, because we learn through challenges. We learn through climbing the mountains. It's that contrast in life. We don't really learn when we're in the valley and everything's going kind of smooth and everything's going okay. There's no really contrast there. It's when we climb that mountain, we see the contrast between a good life and a painful life, if you will, that there's this contrast and we learn through contrast. If everything was like a valley, everything was smooth sailing, there wouldn't be any need to wake up to remember who we are because life is going okay. It's those challenges that really create a lot of upset, worry, fear. That's where we grow. Because when we see that, oh, there's that story going again about climbing that mountain, this difficulty, let me remember who I am. There's peace here in this place. So it's really about finding that peace when you're climbing that mountain, dealing with this challenge. Because when you're dealing with challenges, you want to be in your maximum strength. Anytime you're up here in the mind trying to figure things out, you're actually in a weakened state, in a disempowered state. To remember when we're present, we are fully empowered, fully in tune with our light. Because we are the light that can never be dimmed. There is no dark night of the soul. The light never gets extinguished. Even when the body drops away, the light still isn't extinguished. We continue onward, just simply without a body, but we're still that energy, that life force. But we forget this and we get hung up on our stories, the body, all this judgment, all this fear, all this criticism that doesn't serve us. So just remember, when you're climbing these mountains, these are your opportunities for growth. When you're just walking on a flat surface, the valleys, everything's going okay. There's no problems, there's no worries, there's no issues. But in time, with practice, the mountains will seem like a valley as well. We'll be like, I'm climbing this mountain. It's like, oh, nope, there goes that mind again. Let me come back to my peace. Because peace is really the energy of transformation. That's when we're fully in power. When people are obsessed about their health and healing, that actually blocks healing because the mind's just overwhelmed. Think. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? And it just creates more issues, more concerns. But we simply want to relax, to be here in this moment. And most people are not here in this moment. Like right now, do you realize that you're sitting? Do you realize that you're listening to these words? Do you realize what you're seeing? You may have to pause for a second and tune in, like, where am I sitting? What am I hearing? What am I touching? What am I doing? That's perfect, because that's when you want to get yourself back into this moment. And we really want to slow down as much as possible. So we really learn to be mindful, fully aware of our surroundings. Then we can start speeding things up while keeping ourselves aware of this moment. It's a practice of really trying to stay in our power. And sometimes I get asked, do you still have head trash? And yes, if anybody that's living, even the saints and sages, the monks, if there's like these priests, these monks, these religious leaders, if they're still alive in this body, then yes, we have some mental noise. We have some distractions going on up here. It's part of the human condition. It just simply doesn't grab you and take charge of you. Or if it does grab you, you can quickly let it go. It's like, not me. Oh, there's that story, not me. And you let it go. There's like a quickening that happens with this practice. But first step is just to slow it way down. Just slow way down and just walk slowly. Notice where you're sitting. Notice if you're walking, the surface, what your shoes feel like on the ground. Maybe if you can notice your feet, then you notice your surroundings. Are you passing a flower, a photo? What's your surroundings? Usually I like to watch people on the subway, and and it doesn't matter if they're wearing a mask or not. You just see where their eyes are. Their eyes are an indication. Are they here or are they somewhere else? Most people are somewhere else. And somewhere else isn't in our power. But we have to remember that wherever we go, we're always here, here in this moment, connected to all that is. As Thich Nhat Hanh calls the inner being that we are, connected to all things, and this mind creates separation that doesn't need to be there. These stories are not helpful, they're not useful. Especially the stories that create stress, worry, fear, anxiety, panic attacks. Or maybe there's an attachment to a label. I have MS, I have bipolar, I have cancer. And we cling and we attach to those stories. And we cling and attach, it makes them stronger, more powerful. Because what we think about expands, it grows. So if you're in pain, it's hard not to focus on pain. But the more you focus on pain and saying it should not be there, go away, makes it stronger. But if you can see the pain as it is and letting it be without demanding it that it change, go away, it will fade away because it doesn't serve a purpose anymore. You acknowledged it and you keep acknowledging it and honoring that pain and see what it's teaching you, that there's no mistakes in the universe. If something is happening, it's happening for your benefit. So pain does just randomly happen. It does. There's some things that seem out of your control. Like I was hit by a car. Nothing you can really do about that. But the pain doesn't have to define you. And I see that being hit by a car didn't happen to me. It happened for my benefit. It was a hard benefit to see because it made me sick for 37 years. Everything all my ailments stemmed from that accident. But it took me 37 years to discover my truth, that I was basically sleepwalking, lost in the story for 37 years until I discovered my truth, perfect spirit. And some spend a lifetime in the body where they don't wake up and they only know themselves as their story, their beliefs, their opinions. But ultimately, we're here to rediscover ourselves. So through that accident, I had a quickening, if you will, that it took me only 37 years to wake up. Well, some others will not wake up until the last moment when they go back to the light and they remember, I am that light. Some people report seeing like this tunnel of white light when they pass. Just reminding them that they are light, and we don't have to wait for the last moment of death to discover that we are the light, we are the energy. So just realize It's those mountains, those challenges that help you remember who you are. The valleys, smooth sailing. We don't really learn and grow much from there. But keep climbing those mountains, appreciate those mountains, appreciate what the universe is teaching you, that there are no mistakes, there's no failure. It's simply feedback to keep on going, keep pushing ahead. All right, well, take good care of yourself. I will talk to you tomorrow.